Hello and welcome back to LDC FM. You're tuning into our podcast featuring interviews with our community of independent designers and industry guests. We'll be discussing topics of sustainability, conscious design, the future of fashion, tech, and innovation. This podcast has been recorded alongside an Instagram Live, so apologies for any technical issues prior to tuning in. Thank you for listening.
Hi everyone and welcome back to LDC TV. I'm Amanda Fullalove, the LDC events manager, and I'm going to be here talking to you today about some kind of empowering ways of dressing and how this can make you feel. I'm going to be joined by the Wicked Jade, who is an incredible woman, influencer, and she will be here to tell you in a couple of minutes a bit about herself. So yeah, before we get started, I'll just quickly take you through what I'm wearing today. So I am wearing my Amsterdam chili earrings, which if anyone has ever seen me on a live before, you know that I wear these every single time. Love them, can't get enough. Love Alison as well. And I've got my Elsa earrings, which this one here, if anyone has ever seen. Again, another favourite Alison fan. And today I'm also wearing my frill skirt, which is perfect for summer, and it's comfortable and great story from the same days. Again, another favourite, and today I'm also wearing but enough about me. As much as I could go on about every LDC piece that I have in my wardrobe, I would like to introduce you to Stephanie Dominy, aka the Wicked Jade, and she will tell you more about herself. Enough about me. As much as I'd love to go on up on the screen, every LDC piece that I have in my wardrobe, I would like to introduce you to Stephanie Dominy, aka sorry, and she will tell you more. Just joining now.
Okay.
Hi, Stephanie.
Hi, Amanda. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you.
Thanks so much for joining us on our live today. And I must say, it's amazing. I love the dress.
Yes. Shall I walk you through what I'm wearing as well?
Yes.
So this is an amazing dress from Bedouin Studios, which has a lovely split here. I got this last year when I came into the LDC store when I was looking for something for a wedding, and I've worn it once for the wedding, and I thought, why not just get it out more, just wear it around the house, because it feels absolutely lovely. It's not silk, so you don't actually have to worry about it so much, because I get a bit anxious when I'm wearing silk, but this is much more easy to care for, but feels as good as silk. So I love it. It ticks all the boxes for me. It's green, jade. Very, very rare to find this color in anything really. So when I saw it, I just thought I have to have it. Plus this, wonderful one sleeve effect. I'm wearing a harness here by Karolina Lastowska, who's a lingerie designer, and I've got a ring here. Excuse the state of my nails. I haven't been a long time. A ring here by Poetry does these rings, so they're one of the LDC designers. Yes,
isn't it? Yeah, and then there's
one of the LDC designers. I can't remember. I think is that Jill? Yeah, okay, I think you're right. And then I've got just one of these earrings from Catherine Barber Jewelry, which is, you see, I think most people think I do a lot of shopping. I actually don't buy a lot of clothes, and that's why you don't see me do a lot of fashion pictures on my Instagram feed, because I don't actually have that many clothes. I'm just be showing the same clothes over and over again. So I do wear this. I just buy very selectively, and I buy with the intention of actually wearing the piece a lot, and as you know, and maybe mixing it with other things as much as possible. And that's probably why it's much more lingerie focused, because of that I have quite a lot. And you can never have too much of the bras and the knickers. But yeah, I'm trying to. You do wear those every day, exactly. Although in the current situation, in lockdown, perhaps I'm switching a little bit. If we want to think about what you actually need in this lockdown period, it would be great to wear wonderful lingerie every day, but somehow it's not always conducive to a long day where you're sort of semi-reclined or relaxing a little bit or trying to work hunched over a desk. So I have some great things which are comfortable but also make me feel good. But for example, this gives you an idea of why lingerie to me, why it's so important. Earlier this morning I was doing Pilates and I had on some not very nice knickers, right? Because I was doing Pilates, and then I got changed into this dress and I thought, I could just keep these on. I thought, no, of course not. How could I even do that? Because even though nobody can see me, the thought of wearing these unattractive underpants under this lovely dress was like, no, I have to change everything on me.
It does, like, as you say, yeah, you feel like when you're getting dressed, you want to get dressed. It doesn't matter what people see on the outside, how you feel.
It's how it makes you feel.
Just as you're kind of wearing your harness there.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's very much about how it makes you feel and how it's treating yourself. It's on the theme of self-love. It's about kind of having a date with yourself, especially these days when we have no opportunity to go out. This is absolutely the thing that makes you remember again how it feels. I mean, you get out of practice. So about 15 minutes ago, I was like, oh, I haven't put any jewelry on. Oh, I forgot my hair, because it's almost like I've forgotten how to get ready. So, just these important things that I've just forgotten.
Yeah. So let's take it back a step, just for the people who have tuned into live. Can you tell us a bit about yourself, your story, your background, and what the Wicked Jade is?
Okay, well, we don't need to go into all the details, but so I'm a woman in my late 40s, and I'm a professional, I'm a lawyer, I'm a mother. I got divorced about, it's coming up to 6 years now ago, and it started a sort of metamorphosis, I suppose, in me, in the way I wanted to put myself out in the world. And it wasn't, I suppose it wasn't that intentional, but I started the account at some point along that journey because I started buying a lot of nice things for myself, that like lingerie. And I was thinking, wouldn't it be nice to just show more people all these fabulous things that I've got? And it sort of morphed from that into becoming a sort of crusade where I thought it's actually really important that I do this it's part of the confidence that I'm building in myself. And it's a very much part of lending that confidence to other people who are going through similar stories to me. I mean, it might be slightly different. A lot of them a lot younger, but have issues with wanting to project themselves out there. They don't want the attention of men. They're not doing it because they want attention in a sort of lascivious way. They just want people to appreciate them, and it leads to them sort of loving their bodies more and getting a sense of acceptance about who they are. And obviously Instagram, this platform gives you that sense of validation, which can be healthy or unhealthy. And that's the thing that people have to be careful about. But yeah, it was just a way of them just making a statement and saying, this is who I want to be. This is what I want to look like. The way I look is integral to how I put myself out there in the world. And, I'm just going to showcase some of those things. It's shallow and trivial and not particularly important, but I think the one area of importance is that it's visibility. You know, I don't see a lot of people on Instagram who look like me. And I think that for the ones that are out there who are not visible, it's important to see somebody else who looks like them, showing that body confidence that perhaps they would like to have.
Definitely, I definitely think that it's such an empowering thing to do, and to encourage other people to feel the same way about themselves. I think that's such an important message to bring out there.
Thank you.
Anyone really, and I think, you know, connecting with your body and putting like yourself first, and as you say, you're asking for attention, but really it's appreciation that people like deserve. It doesn't matter the way that you look, like your body shape, size. Everyone deserves to feel appreciated, and by creating this kind of open community and discussion, I think it's a good way to kind of, you know, support one another.
Yeah, I mean, you use the word community, and I think that's what it's really good for, right? That you connect with people that you would never otherwise have met, and that's one of the joys. One of the high points of Instagram is meeting all these other women who share my love for a certain aesthetic. It's also meeting people who work in the industry, you know, designers, people like yourself in the fashion world, photographers who have wanted to collaborate and create really great imagery that I've been really pleased with. So that has afforded me something that I never thought would be the outcome. It was never the intention that I would, you know, find these people and do these things. So yeah, it's like I said, it's open to opportunities like this. Sometimes things just happen. Things just, you know, come your way.
Did you have any expectations when you started the Wicked Jade? Did you want to come something like this?
No, not at all. No,
I mean, no, definitely. I mean, I've always said the company
is not going to be. It's never going to be a platform to make money, because I have a good job. I don't need to do anything which involves selling pictures or selling underwear, because that's you know, if that comes, people ask you for those things, and it's my hard line. It's like, I will do what I do just for me. It's not about gaining followers. It's not about putting pictures which, you know, certain people will like. You know, it's just like, this is what I want to do. This is how I want to express myself. It's just about expression. I think a lot of people will probably share that. But, you know, the side benefit is that I get to know certain people really well, like the whole Club crew and all the designers, and going into the stores and interacting with them, and then being able to, you know, promote them in my own way, which is just to say, look, I'm wearing these things that I like. It's a very low-key way of saying, yeah, support some people that I think are great. You know, that's all it is. But no, there's never any intention for some, you know, end results that, yeah, I don't have the time, frankly, you know. So, yeah.
I think
but
that's
yeah.
actually something that a lot of people relate to, not having the time. But I think one of the amazing things that you kind of shown, not just through your Instagram, but through your everyday style, is just this, like, I feel like you have this really strong idea of the way that you want to present yourself, the way that you want to dress, and you really do stick to that, and you can see it in
well, I don't stick to it all the time. I mean, there are days when I am in lockdown loungewear, so, but we won't dwell on that. But no, yeah, if I'm trying, if I'm trying to, you know, make sure that my outfit is counting for something, I do have a certain aesthetic that I go by, and I think what it is I don't really do fashion. I don't really go and seek out what's fashionable. It's first of all, I just don't think that the whole model of going for fashionable things and seasonal things is a sustainable model at all. Most of the clothes that I have, I buy because I know what suits me and what I like. And, you know, like this, it's just a color. I fully expect I'll be wearing this dress in about 10 years time if I haven't outgrown, you know, size wise, if I can fit into it. The things that I buy, I want to know that it's about my style and a certain quality and something that I hope will be timeless, right? It's not just the latest fad, or leopard print is in, or we're going for pleats and skirts. That's too it's a trend-driven thing. I will look at it, but I've now been around long enough to know that these trends are so short-lived, and they're mainly engineered by the industry to kind of shift the product. So absolutely, the things I buy these days are things I hope will be investments, or even if they're quite cheap, they're things that I think will carry me through for years, not just 1 or 2 seasons. So that's kind of my thing. There is a style, and it's not driven by fashion, but it's my look that suits me, that I want to present myself in.
And are there any kind of particular pieces that automatically take your attention?
Well, okay, so I've got a couple things here that I was going to show you. So the thing that the way we are right now in the summer, so I've kind of looked at some of the things that I've got that I wear a lot. So this is the robe from Anarella. So you'll have, so it's quite hard to photograph well so you can really see it, so I haven't done that. But it's a sort of kimono inspired robe, but the amazing print is really very me, I think. And it's silk, and I just throw it on over anything, like when you're wearing shorts or swimwear, or for an evening look, or over jeans. It just immediately does a trick to make it look more sassy, but it's like as easy as throwing on a cardigan, and it just makes everything look good.
The amazing thing about Anarella's clothing is that everything is so individual.
They're all different. Yeah, that's the thing. Every piece is different, and I'd love to have more of her pieces. I like this as well because although I love kimonos, proper Japanese vintage kimonos, and I've got one here that's my current favorite, they're a little bit too long to just swan about in every day. So this is my latest one that I'm absolutely in love with, this purple one from Kiss Coton, which I absolutely adore. And I am wearing it quite a lot just for lounging around, but I'm having to be really careful with it because it's very long, sleeves are very long. But yeah, it's the Anarella one is more practical because it's about hip to knee length. She has different lengths, and so I love just throwing it on just immediately to create an impact. When it comes to the lingerie pieces, which I know you haven't really asked me specifically, I've got a lot, but one of my go-to feel-good pieces is this clear cage bra by Studio Pia, which it features quite a lot on my Instagram feed, you'll notice. And it's not the most everyday piece of lingerie, right? Because your nipples basically poke through these rings. So if I want to just feel sassy, I will put this on. But it's probably not the one for wearing out clothing unless you want your nipples to be poking out. Yeah, and I have a lot of things like that, but I was just thinking if I had to pick one, it would probably be the Studio Pia one. So yeah, the kimono theme is going very strong for me at the moment because it's that time of year. But I've had other pieces like I bought a fantastic MAC from Judy Wu quite a few seasons ago, and it's like a sort of Burberry MAC, but much nicer, and when it's sort of autumn, spring, between the seasons, I wear that MAC all the time, and it's just instantly makes me feel great.
Fantastic. We have a question here. Someone has asked, do you always pre-match your clothes in the lingerie?
Do I pre-match my clothes? You see, I'm not one of these people that lays things out the night before and prepares what I'm going to wear. I'm very much spur of the moment, last minute. I have no idea what I'm wearing until it goes on. So I would like it to match. I would like it to somehow kind of either show or not show or be roughly the same color. But it's very last minute, without too much planning involved, and it's I think that's almost part of the fun, is that I'm throwing things around. just sort of like trying different things on. I think with underwear, a lot of it is driven by practicality, right? You know, if you're wearing a certain item of clothing on top, you want the underwear underneath to fit in some way with that, you know, whether it's padded or not padded. But I'm very much one to have underwear on show, because a lot of my underwear is so amazing and expensive that it would be a shame not to show it, right? So I have a lot of clothing that shows the back off. So I have a lot of dresses, jumpsuits that have a low back, specifically so that people can see the back of my bra. You know, that's a choice, that's a look. It obviously works better in the summer than in the winter. I hope that's answered the question.
What's kind of like your go-to outfit? I think I definitely get what you're saying about you want to put on something to sit your feet in the morning. So like whenever you plan it the night before, you put it on the morning and then you go out the day and you're like, this doesn't suit my mood anymore. But is there like a go-to?
Well, I mean, like I said, this whole kimono vibe is, you know, I'm really digging it right now. So this is what I'm go-toing now, you know, and like everybody else, you know, I have to run around in the day and do normal stuff, right? So I'm looking for something that, generally speaking, is practical but also gives me a little bit of spirit, right? It makes me feel like I'm channeling the real me and I'm living my moments. So it is little touches we're talking about. Usually it's not like a whole outfit. It's little things like this harness here. If I put this on, I think, oh yeah, that's great. Or, you know, some leather bracelet, or some kind of choker, for example. So I've got a couple of really nice chokers that are, you know, the cross between jewelry and clothing. So it's more like these subtle things. And, you know, if you work in a profession going into town, there's a limit to what you can do with your outfit, right? You know, I'm much more out there than most people in where I work. But I don't want to just frighten the horses completely. So again, it's just about subtle touches that give a hint, you know. So often I'll wear like a white shirt and then underneath you can see some cross strapping or some kind of harness detail of a bra, and it's that little hint that makes me happy, you know. Or like a mesh top where you can see clearly the straps of my lingerie. You know, it's about mixing what I call this lingerie inspired look or lingerie styling, because it's just not, most of my pictures on Instagram are not just me in my lingerie, it's me in my lingerie with some other item of clothing, usually. So yeah, I think there was a question that came in.
Someone has asked, do you prefer mixing or matching your lingerie set?
Okay, so mixing and matching as in mismatched, I suppose, like different bottoms to the top. Yeah, I mean, I would love to say I'm the sort of person that always wears the matching bra and knickers, but I confess that, yeah, I mean, it happens every few days, let's say, that you know, sort of comes together. But I do have a lot of things. I think this is what the person's asking. So I do have a lot of things that could match with each other. So it's a different brand and it's not from the same set, although it's the same brand. And do you just sort of like put them all together? Yes, I do that. So I would hesitate to put on two completely different colors, for example. But if it's all black or it's all one color, I would certainly mix and match different brands or different sets. Because yeah, that's part of the creativity, part of the fun of layering lingerie, you know, so having, so I've got a bra here and then this harness, and it creates this interesting shape and line. And some of the lingerie girls on Instagram are brilliant at this layering look, you know, where they layer on different brands and stuff, and it looks really creative. And it's just like creating a new outfit every time. So I'm not quite as amazing at that, but I'm trying.
But you do get it quite right, I would say. But I would agree with you that kind of lingerie is like choosing your outfit. You wouldn't go out in an entire outfit that is just one brand, would you? You can kind of style it to become one look.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I think to a degree it's not quite the same with, it's not quite the same with lingerie because having a mismatched look is not necessarily a good thing. But no, I mean, look, the point is that for me, lingerie is a very personal thing. It's very much, it doesn't matter what other people think. It doesn't matter what they see. It's how it makes me feel. I feel very empowered when I'm wearing certain things. The feel of something that I can't even see, but I can feel, transmits a certain energy to me because I've associated it with being a strong person, or somebody who's bold and confident, or sexually aware, and therefore I can just sort of channel that feeling through wearing certain lingerie. So I love the comfortable stuff, but every now and then I think I'm going to wear something that makes me feel really powerful, fully boned, like corseted or something. It'll be really uncomfortable for a few hours, but the feeling of power and confidence it gives to me in those moments is it's quite tonic. It's like somebody who has a fantastic pair of high heel boots, for example, and I've heard of women who do this. They sort of visualize themselves stepping into their high heel boots before they're about to give a presentation, because they can channel that feeling of power in that item. So it's not as trivial as it sounds. It is something that you can attach to any object, but it becomes your totem, and it becomes the source of your strength.
Someone just commented, beyond yourself, what embodies your body confidence of self-love, powerful community.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, it is great what you say about kind of the power of emotions that clothes and lingerie and accessories kind of hold for a person, and really kind of can set the day ahead depending on what you choose to wear that day. And if you're feeling a bit more down, maybe you can wear that power suit that that you always look good in, that you always feel good. So you can shift that mood.
Yeah, I mean, I think right now in lockdown, it's probably more important than ever to think about what gives you some joy. And we're all looking for something to have give us that feeling of a change of scene, even if we can't have an actual change of scene. I think it's really important right now that some of us are doing so much for other people. We might be working really hard, we might be looking after children, trying to homeschool them, trying to cook meals, and you're not really making any time for yourself. I would say to anybody, whatever the thing is that you like to do, make some time for yourself to do it. And if it is putting on nice clothes, putting on a full face of makeup, doing your hair, or strutting around in your lingerie and taking pictures, whatever it is, take what you need, make that time, force yourself to actually have that time for yourself. There's a really good app called Reclaim, where it will look at your calendar and it will put a slot of time where it finds it, and then you block that out so nobody can take that time away. And it's for you to make sure that you keep that time for yourself. So yeah, there's a limit to what we can do right now. You can't do stuff that you might want to do, like go swimming or play sports, but this is something you can do in your own home that is for you. And hopefully if you have a passion for the fashion or dressing up or lingerie or shopping, you can do all those things, but make sure you dedicate some time to do it, because you just need it to make yourself feel good at the moment, and be kind to yourself.
I think that's a very important message that's out there, especially during these times and people feeling less confident. I think a lot of people can necessarily feel like it can be a waste to get dressed if no one's seeing you. And then in that kind of sense, Instagram can play into a really kind of positive role into that, because you can, as you do, reach out to those people and show off your amazing clothes and feel good about yourself.
Yeah, I mean, we're social creatures. This whole being isolated thing is it's really bad for our mental health, because we can't see and touch people and talk to them in that natural way that we do, giving off all the normal non-verbal cues. Yes, we can do Zoom calls and we can talk to people and they can see what we're wearing on there, but it's so, you know, it's really a shadow of what we actually need as creatures, right, to have that social interaction. But we have to do what we can, you know, so you talk to people and you put things on Instagram that your friends and followers and acquaintances will interact with, and it is just some engagement at some level with human beings. You know, I think it attracts a lot of criticism, but it is better right now to do that than to be completely alone and feeling like, you know, you can't interact with anybody. So, you know, do what you have to do to get that interaction and a sense of connectivity with somebody.
Yeah, and I think it's really great that this is like given an opportunity to reach out to people that you wouldn't necessarily have any opportunities or wouldn't necessarily come across in your day-to-day life, but you can kind of reach out and connect. Might be kind of an easier way to feel connected to someone than you would necessarily in person.
I mean, yeah, you know, it's amazing, isn't it, that you can still make some really good friends through the web and through apps. You know, I've certainly had that experience where people I've known through online acquaintances have actually then become good friends with me later on because we've shared something in common. You know, we might be from different parts of the world, we might be different ages, we might have different backgrounds, but we share this one thing. And through that connection, we actually become really good friends, you know. So it happens all the time. It happens out of a crisis, but you know, now's the time it can definitely happen. But having said all that, I really can't wait to get back into the real world of touching things, you know, going into a shop, a boutique, and trying things on and feeling things up close, you know, and people in real life. So yeah, when the shops reopen. What's the first thing? Oh, that's a great question. I mean, the first thing is probably, you know, seeing family and friends that I haven't seen, you know, going to visit them and having, you know, get-togethers with friends. Although it's very painful, you can't touch them and hug them. You know, I don't know what we're going to do there because I think it's almost more painful to see and not be able to touch. I just don't know how I will navigate that. But then after all the human contact, I would just love to go to a shop like Liberty, you know, and just browse and touch things and just pick things up and look around. But I have no idea whether that's even going to be possible. So I don't know whether we're actually going to be able to go into a department store and, you know, spray perfume on us and try on makeup. But it's a silly thing where I really would like to do that.
Well, these are like the simple pleasures that I think people have definitely kind of been missing throughout something like this. So yeah, it's definitely a feeling. I just got one more question here. I think this will probably be our last comment from our watchers. But is your Instagram persona incorporated in your everyday? Do you feel you need to separate the two or hide your account from certain people in your life?
Well, I mean, okay, so I don't hide anything. I don't actively hide anything, but neither do I actively promote and make the two sides integrate. So I think that I've been through this issue before where, you know, I've considered what am I really doing and is any of this in conflict with the other part of my life? And I've decided that you know, it's not entirely binary. It's not entirely like one thing here and one thing there. But at the same time, this is, you know, me talking to you, me posing in my lingerie and taking pictures of my bum. It's one part. It's one part of, oh, something's happened here.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's one part of my life and it's one thing that I can do as a hobby to pass the time. But it's not everything, you know, so yeah, I guess to answer that question, I do keep it separate, but it's not like a hard line.
Great. And just to wrap things up, could you tell us a little bit about what has inspired or what was your guilty pleasure during lockdown?
Well, I've been trying to actually avoid doing things online too much because my work involves looking at a computer all day. So I'm trying to minimize screen time and look at social media too much. But when I get an email from some shopping website and department store, I do dive in and start looking at things, clothes and stuff to buy. But I've been pretty good. I haven't been too tempted to go off the rails. But yeah, I mean, I'm doing what everyone else does. I'm cooking, I'm baking, I'm watching lots of Netflix, reading lots of books, but not as much as probably other people because my life is extremely busy. So I've hardly felt like I've had extra time or a sort of a luxury of time. So it's pretty much normal business happenings, just not being able to go out. So yeah. I hope everyone else is having a decent lockdown wherever you are, if you are having a lockdown.
Have you made banana bread?
I have, yes, but then I used to do that anyway.
Everyone has made banana bread in lockdown.
I haven't done sourdough, but I think the end result is that I have eaten a lot of cake and I have definitely put on a lot of weight, but I'm trying to mitigate that by doing Pilates every day. So, that's my saving. That's the thing that, keeps me mentally sane, because I do at least that every day. And if I didn't do that, I'd feel just horrible.
There's a global pandemic going on. You can't hold ourselves to too strict a diet or lifestyle.
No, definitely not strict diet. Definitely not strict diet. But I think that the bit of exercise that is necessary for me to feel like I'm doing something with my body. But yeah, yeah, exactly. Cake is definitely important, I think, and so I'm going to eat as much cake as comes my way.
Well, that's great. Thank you so much, Stephanie. That was such an inspiring conversation. I hope everyone who's been watching has enjoyed it, and this will be on our IGTV for anyone who hasn't caught it to catch up. Thank you for everyone who commented and has been asking questions or watching with us. Do check out Stephanie's Instagram if you don't already follow her, or check out some of her incredible projects online at loandesignclub.com. And yeah, thank you again. Thank you so much for your time. It was a pleasure speaking with you, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Get some cakes. Hopefully you'll be shopping too.
Thank you. Yes, look forward to it. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much again for tuning in. Head to our website, loandesignclub.com, and find more LDC FM podcasts, or discover more about our independent designers online.